Staging occurs when someone purposely alters the crime scene prior to the arrival of the police. Offenders will often manipulate the discovery of victims by a neighbor or family member, or conveniently be elsewhere when the victim is discovered. What happened after Patsy called the police? Well, I think she called the Fernies and the Whites and just screamed at them to come over. Is it possible that John had no idea what had happened that night? From our experience with staged domestic homicides, that is, murders committed by a family member and made to look like something else, such as a rape or burglary gone bad, the killer will generally maneuver and manipulate to have someone else find the body. It is much easier for her to react and to maintain some distance from the crime. John and Patsy didn't do their police interviews until 4 months later. So is it possible that they aligned their story and John helped Patsy cover up the killing of JonBenet Ramsey? The proximal portion of the small intestine contains fragmented pieces of yellow to light green tan apparent vegetable or fruit material, which may represent fragments of pineapple. Ms. Ramsey said that JonBenet had been dressed in white long underwear and a red turtleneck. On the floor in the bathroom off JonBenet's bedroom, investigators found a balled-up red turtleneck, which Patsy said JonBenet had been wearing when she went to bed. In total frustration and exhaustion, Patsy hit JonBenet on the head, or Patsy shook JonBenet violently and she hit her head on the sink or bathtub, or Patsy just strangled JonBenet unconscious. I had a case in which a man had killed his wife in their bedroom, but before he left, he moved the body to a storage cellar with access from the outside, then made the body look as if she had been sexually assaulted. He did this because he didn't want his son to find the body, and so that when the body was found, it would appear to have been a rape gone bad. Patsy took JonBenet down to the basement and left her there and went back upstairs. Patsy wrote the ransom note on one of her notepads in the kitchen. Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We do respect your business and your $118,000 bonus. Patsy decided to make it look like a sexual crime, so she fashioned the garrote and strangled JonBenet, then possibly hit her on the head with something to fracture her skull. Then she put on the duct tape and tied her wrists and moved her to the wine cellar. In the case of the man who killed his wife, the body was carefully wrapped in the blanket from their bed so that nothing but her head was exposed. It was a protective, considerate presentation. We say that this shows a proprietary interest in the victim. Sometimes it even demonstrates remorse. The blanket was caught up around and crossed in front of her as if somebody was tucking her in. You know, the blanket was under her completely. It was brought up and folded over. It was like an Indian papoose. Does the point of entry make sense to you, that an intruder would enter through the grating and the window well and the broken window? Or is that just something that Patsy knew about? I didn't see any glass around. We looked around for some glass again. Still didn't see any glass. Don't try to grow a brain, John. Don't underestimate us, John. It's up to you now, John. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and I'll see you next weekend with a new video about the John Ramsey case. And then after Christmas, December 26th, I will have a big episode on the whole John Ramsey case.